Myself, my name is Shri Rupini. I'm the Assistant Professor of Ratnam Technical Campus. So here I'm going to talk about the problem solving techniques one. So under that, I'll be taking up unit two. So unit two is nothing but introduction to array. So what basically array, how many types of arrays are there, and then the use cases in array. So what is an array? To start with, what is an array? Array is nothing but a fundamental data structure which is used to store multiple values of the same data type. So here, array is also a derived data type which is used to store multiple values, but all the values have to belong to the same data type. Either it could be integer, or it should belong to a float data type, or it has to be belonging to a character data type. But the integration of all the data types are not allowed in arrays. So it will be storing multiple values of the same data type in case of an array. And coming to the size, arrays have a fixed size and it is stored in continuous memory. So here it is size constrained, so it is always fixed in size. And we are using arrays in almost all the programming languages. And it also allows iteration using loops. So for instance, we can use for loops, while loops in case of an array. So this is the basic introduction of array. Next, we will be talking about what type of data type it would be using. So here in case of an array, it is holding primitive or complex data types. Primitive in the sense we would be considering integer data type, float data type, or the character data type. So it can be holding either the primitive data types or the complex data types in case of an array. Next, it can come the various operations which has been performed in an array are nothing but searching and sorting. For instance, if you're supposed to consider and search a particular variable, whether it is present in an array or not, then you can be using the operation called searching method. Under searching, there are a lot of concepts known as linear search, binary search. And next is sorting. So what is a sorting? Arranging of values either in an ascending order or a descending order are nothing but sorting. So here, when you have to perform the operations in an array, the first and foremost thing what we have to do is we have to sort the elements in an array. Once the elements are sorted in an ascending or a descending order, next process would be searching process. So here in searching, we would be having the concepts of linear search, binary search, selection sort. So that is the advanced format. For now, you just have to remember that array is a data structure which is used to store multiple values of the same data type. The basic operation which has been performed in an array are sorting and searching. And next, there are two types of array, one-dimension array and two-dimension array. So let us understand what is a one-dimension array and what is two-dimension array. As told earlier, it is nothing but array is a fixed size collection of elements of the same data type that shares a common name. So here, how do you, what are the different types of an array? There are basically three types of array: one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, and multi-dimensional array. So what is one-dimensional array? So one-dimensional array is nothing but the variable that will represent the list of elements or the items using only one index value. That is, you can consider the example here. So here, let us consider the example of the elements storing the values 35, 40, 20, 57, 90. So this is all belonging to a particular data type, which is integer. All these elements are stored using the variable called number. So what basically this does is we would be so what this basically does, what is this? This is nothing but int number of 5. So here int is nothing but your data type. Integer belongs to your integer data type. Next, followed by the array name. So array name here is nothing but number. And next, followed by the size. So array size is given here as 5, telling that we can only store 5 elements in the array name called number. So basically, there are 5 elements which are stored here, which are 35, 40, 20, 57, and 19. So this is the basic format of how you would be writing an array. So what it is nothing but you are calling the example of int number of 5, where int specifying the data type followed by array name followed by a size. So how does your computer store all these numbers? So here in case of an array, we have a concept called indexing. Array always starts with the index value 0. So here we can already see that we have the array name as number. So number of 0, it always starts with index value 0 till 4. Since we are having 5 elements here, it is ranging from 0 to 4. So each of the elements is been storing with a value. So here we can see that the values have been assigned to the array. So number of 0, the index value of 0 is being stored with value 35, followed by 40, 20, 57 and 90. Each of the values is being stored in each and every particular index values of an array ranging from 0 to 4. So the general form of array declaration is type, that is your data type, followed by array name, followed by the size. So here the type specifies nothing but your data type of the elements contained here. It could either be the integer data type or float data type or character data type. Next, we have something called size here. Size is indicating the maximum number of elements which can be stored inside an array. For example, if you're giving the size to be 5, only 5 elements can be stored in an array and not 6. Suppose if you're giving the size to be 6, you can store the elements which are below 6 or equal to 6. So here size specifies, your size is nothing but indicating the maximum number of elements that can be stored inside the array. So here the size should be either a numeric constant or a symbolic constant. So here in case of the numeric constant, it is nothing but we would be specifying the integer values. Next, here the example of how you have to declare an array is int is nothing but the data type here, followed by array name. Here it is group, followed by the size. So here the size is being specified as 10. So it is nothing but int is the data type, group is the variable name, 10 is the size of the array, which is means telling that the index values starts from 0 to 9. So there are 10 elements which can be stored under this array in the group of 10. Next, initialization of one-dimension array. So there are 3 types of an array: one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, and multi-dimensional array. So in case of one-dimensional array, how the elements are stored? So here an array can be stored in the following steps. It can either be stored at the compile time or during the runtime. So what basically is a compile time initialization? Here compile time initialization is nothing but as soon as you create an array and you declare an array, that time your array can be initialized. That is nothing but your compile time initialization. So general form of your initialization of array during the compile time is nothing but data type followed by array name of size equals list of values. Your list of values are always separated by the commas and it has been enclosed within your flower brackets here. So this is the basic syntax of how you can declare one-dimension array. So here int number of 3 equals 459. So basically what happens, number 0 is been, the value of index value 0 has been assigned with 5. 5 is the assigned with the second element, 9 is assigned with the third element. So this is the basic program of how to initialize a one-dimension array. Always starts with the header file #include stdio.h. Here stdio.h is nothing but your standard input.header file. So whatever the header files are present in C library, that is all stored under this header file. Next, followed by your main function. The main function is the data type int. So whatever the values has to be returned, it should be returning 0 value here. Within that, we are declaring an array name for numbers, specifying the size, and we are storing the elements as 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Next, printf is nothing but you're printing the element which is present. Your printf statement is used to print. So elements of the array is being printed. Next, we have to call each and every variable present in an array, right? For that, we will be using the for loop function. Within the for loop function, we have three parts, which is initialization part. I equals 0. Since the index values always starts from the 0 value, I equals 0. Next, maximum value which is being stored is the fifth position value. So I is lesser than 5. This is the condition. Next is I plus plus is nothing but incrementation. So we have to either increment or decrement in your for loop condition. The first part is initialization followed by the condition. Next is the incrementation. With that, we are printing something called numbers of I. So numbers of 0 would be printed, number of 1 would be printed, followed by number of fifth position. And then it is returning 0. Right.